Israel-Gaza war and its consequences. The Israel-Gaza conflict has been one of the most enduring and contentious issues in the Middle East, characterized by a long history of hostilities, periodic flare-ups of violence, and deep-seated animosities. The latest escalation, like those before it, has had profound impacts on both the immediate region and the broader international community. Background of the conflict. The roots of the Israel-Gaza conflict trace back to the early 20th century, amidst competing national and colonial legacies. Following the establishment of the State of Israel in 1948 and the subsequent Arab-Israeli War, hundreds of thousands of Palestinians were displaced, leading to the creation of the Gaza Strip as a densely populated refugee area. Over the decades, Gaza has been controlled by Egypt, occupied by Israel, and since 2007, governed internally by Hamas, a Palestinian militant organization designated as a terrorist group by Israel and several other countries. Recent escalation. The most recent escalation in the conflict began with tensions in East Jerusalem, specifically around the Sheikh Jarrah neighborhood and the Al-Aqsa Mosque. These tensions erupted into violence in May 2021 when Hamas fired rockets into Israel, prompting a heavy military response. The ensuing conflict resulted in significant casualties and destruction, particularly in Gaza, where Israeli airstrikes targeted Hamas infrastructure but also caused extensive damage to civilian areas. Humanitarian impact. The humanitarian toll of the conflict has been severe. In Gaza, the densely packed urban environment means that airstrikes often result in high civilian casualties and widespread destruction of homes, schools, and medical facilities. According to the United Nations, over half of all structures in Gaza have been destroyed or damaged. The blockade on Gaza, enforced by Israel and Egypt, has compounded these issues, restricting the flow of essential goods and humanitarian aid, leading to a dire economic situation for its inhabitants. Political ramifications. Politically, the conflict has deepened the divide between Israel and the Palestinians. For Israel, the primary concern remains security and the neutralization of threats from groups like Hamas. For Palestinians, especially those in Gaza, the conflict underscores the struggle for sovereignty, dignity, and relief from what many describe as an oppressive blockade. Conclusion. The Israel-Gaza conflict remains one of the most complex and deeply rooted conflicts in modern history. Its impacts are felt not only in the immediate region but across the world. While the immediate consequences are devastating, the long-term challenges it poses to peace, security, and humanitarian well-being are profound. Addressing this conflict requires not only immediate humanitarian intervention, but also long-term political solutions that address the underlying issues of sovereignty, security, and human rights.